Hi greedy 3Ders, today we're unboxing and having a first look at Anycubic's new resin printer, the Photon P1. If you're interested, stay tuned. The Anycubic Photon P1 positions itself as a mid-size resin 3D printer that claims near industrial performance with true consumer-level accessibility. Well, let's get it unboxed and have a look at it. Unboxing the Anycubic Photon P1 feels like stepping into a carefully staged experience where everything is designed to reassure you that you're holding a well-engineered machine. The printer itself sits snugly in protective foam, giving you that sense of security that nothing has been rattled around in transit. As you lift it out and as advised, lifted up by the cellophane bag, the compact form factor immediately stands out. It's sleek and minimal with 4 rubber feet, ensuring desktop stability and help reducing any scratches or vibrations on that lovely tabletop. Protective films cover the case, allowing an almost therapeutic removal, which has of course to be done slowly. It is the law after all. And further protective films on the screen, the resin vat and the UI interface all need removing. The accessories are neatly compartmentalised in an accompanied box with the usual assortments including gloves, filters, tools. You've seen it before, and the power supply, which thankfully for me was a UK power supply. Now you don't have to go digging through the clutter. I wonder if something's missing because it's all there in the box. Even the documentation is streamlined with a quick start guide, QR codes as well, pointing you to a setup guidance which makes the transition from box to bench feel effortless. Aesthetically, the Anycubic Photon P1 represents a clean, modern design that emphasises functionality whilst it still maintains that professional look. Its chassis is boxy but streamlined, with smooth, matte, cream surfaces that give it a sturdy industrial feel without appearing bulky. I like the way it looks. It has a stepless hinged lid that can hold at any angle above 45 degrees, allowing for easy access to the buildplate and resin vat that it holds inside. The front of the machine is dominated by the UI touchscreen that sits on the lower right. It's seamlessly merged with the power button, which is an on-off push switch, and a USB slot. They sit also just on the front right-hand side of the machine. The power itself is accessed via the rear of the machine with thankfully no power brick in sight, and further up the rear is a round hole covered in a rubber bung. This is going to be for extraction of fumes, but we'll talk about that another day. The flow of the unboxing will naturally lead into setup, and first let's take a look at this build plate. The Anycubic Photon P1 uses a precision crowned steel build plate engineered for stable adhesions, consistent first layers and reliable performance across the entire print area. Its flatness tolerance of under 80 microns is unusually tight for a consumer resin printer. The plate mounts with a quick release latch rather than screws or knobs, making removal and cleanup fast and convenient. There are some grooves at the front of the printer to allow you to hang your resin vat for drainage, and while it's nice to see you have this option, unfortunately when you use it you can't close the lid, so it's a little bit of a faux pas, which is a bit of a shame. The build plate is fully integrated with the Intelligent Leveling System 3. The printer arrives factory levelled, although I did need to level mine manually. It told me how to do it. It was a really easy process and no great dramas. If you're worried about it, don't worry about it. If it happens to you, it's just a case of turning a few screws. Before each print, the multi-point sensing verifies plate alignment. Real-time force measurements at the corners ensure that the plate remains properly calibrated without manual adjustments too, preventing levelling related failures and maintaining that long-term accuracy. And now here's where things get really interesting. The optional double build plate and double vat system on the Anycubic Photon P1 is one of the printer's defining features, transforming it from a standard single material resin machine into a genuinely versatile multi-material platform. Unlike most consumer resin printers that are limited of course to one resin per print, the P1 allows 2 different resins or 2 different colours to be printed at exactly the same time. This capability opens the door to creative, functional and cost-efficient workflows that are normally impossible in printers of this price segment. The P1 handles dual material printing with surprising stability because the rest of its hardware is engineered to support it. The machine is designed to work with highly viscous engineering resins, which in some cases can be 40 times thicker than your typical consumer resin, something very few desktop printers manage reliably. This high viscosity compatibility matters directly to dual material printing because it means the printer can combine low viscosity standard resins with slow flowing engineering grade materials such as elastic, tough or high strength formulations without uneven curing or layer separation. The double build plate is most impressive when used for cost savings. Expensive resins such as jewellery casting resin, dental resin, high strength engineering blends are often needed only for parts of a model that require their unique properties. The P1 allows the primary structure, support, bases, internal structures and non-visible areas to be printed with an inexpensive standard resin, while the functional or visually important areas are printed with the premium material. This reduces consumption of high-cost resin dramatically when compared with printing the entire model from the premium resin alone. So when it comes to the double build plate and the double vat, and you've seen this in lots of the pre-advertisement material before the release of the Photon P1, I just want you guys to fully understand that this is an optional add-on. It doesn't come with the printer as standard. You get this solid plate with the printer as standard. Now, if you're concerned and you think, I'm not going to use that, that's not for hobbyists, it's not for me, it is an added optional extra, and I don't want that to detract away from how good I've found the Photon P1 to be so far. So you get the big plate that we've talked about. There's an option also for a peppered hold plate as well as the double vat system. And I'm not going to be talking too much about the double vat today. I'm going to be doing a follow-up video further down the line in about a month's time when I get my hands on one, as it's not here yet, and I get the chance to play with it. But if you think, you know what, that's probably not for me, then it probably isn't for you. But don't worry, it's an added extra. Don't let that put you off considering buying this and learning some more about this printer. I just wanted to make sure you're aware of that. The Photon P1's resin vat is designed to support its focus on print stability, high viscosity materials and efficient workflow. It has about a 1 litre capacity and uses an NFEP release film. That combined with Anycubic's bump release, textured, I guess you'd call it, technology seen here on the screen that feels, well, bumpy to the touch. This non-flat surface allows air to move through micro channels during lifting and reduces separation forces quite significantly, which helps to reduce print failures, especially with large cross-section prints or thicker resins. The vat is part of the machine's quick swap design. It uses a quick release mounting system allowing you to remove, empty or clean it much faster than traditional vat assemblies that rely on screw tighteners or clumsy knobs. It's up there with my favourite release mechanism of all time, the satisfying click when it engages. I just find that reassuring. On the vat, you'll see connectors that align with those on the printer to enable heating. Yes, it's got a heater. Resin heating is supported in this temperature control vat, allowing up to 40 degrees centigrade to be reached. Now this is essential to keep those high viscosity engineering resins in a workable flow state. The thermal consistency is important for resins up to 8000 CPS, which normally exhibit slow flow and poor layer renewal at lower temperatures. The controlled environment ensures that you get stable curing, reliable layer formation and consistent print success, even if you're printing like me in a colder environment. The Photon P1 Z-axis uses a dual rail setup paired with an industrial grade ball screw, giving it the rigidity and smooth vertical motion needed for high precision resin printing. The dual rails prevent any side to side movement, while the ball screw reduces friction and ensures accurate, consistent layer positioning. The stability is especially valuable when printing tall models, large cross sections or high viscosity engineering resins, all of which place heavier demands on the lift system. Working alongside the printer's release technologies, the Z-axis moves cleanly and predictably during each lift, helping to prevent layer shifts, reducing Z-banding and maintaining the high level of detail and repeatability the P1 has been designed to deliver. The Photon P1 screen is a central part of its precision system, combining a native 14K panel with carefully engineered supporting hardware to produce cleaner, sharper prints than many higher resolution competitors that are on the market. The 13312x5120 display works together with the Light Turbo 4 optical system, which uses a Cobb LED array, mirrors and a refined Fresnel lens to deliver highly uniform, low divergence light across the entire screen. This uniformity is critical. It ensures that the pixels cure with consistent intensity from edge to centre, preventing soft spots, distortion and uneven surface textures. Together, the 14K screen and Light Turbo 4 lighting system form a balanced and well-calibrated exposure engine, a key contributor to both the printer's precision and its day-to-day reliability. Now, I often get asked, how easy is it to replace the screens on these 3D printers? Well, on this one it's really easy. You just remove a few sticky coverings, undo some screws, change a ribbon cable and repeat the process. It's really easy to do. It's about a 10-minute job and they've got you covered. Anycubic have got a video that talks you through the whole process, that tells you from start to finish how to do it. So don't worry about screen changing if you do need to change the screen, and just remember that the screens on resin printers are classed as consumables. It's easy and simple to do. Now, print volume is an impressive 223 times 126 times 230 millimeters, making it a larger build area than other competitors such as the GK3 Pro, the Saturn IV Ultra and the Hagears RS and Turbo. The UI is accessed via the front right-sided capacitive touchscreen. The UI I found to be easy to navigate and concise, with clear, legible graphics that allow the usual input of commands, Wi-Fi connection and initial setup instructions. The Photon P1 operates quietly, producing noise levels of around about 45 decibels or less, making it suitable for home or office environments. This low noise output is highlighted as a user-friendly upgrade, ensuring that the printer can run without causing distraction, even during long or continuous print jobs. Its quiet operation complements the P1's focus on smooth, efficient workflows and professional-grade stability, allowing users to maintain a comfortable working environment while producing high-precision resin prints. Photon's Workshop 4 is Anycubic's software ecosystem, designed to complement the P1's hardware and streamline the printing workflow. It comes preloaded with optimised printing parameters for all Anycubic resins, enabling one-click slicing and printing, which simplifies setup and reduces trial and error for both beginners and experienced users. You can also add your preferred resin brand and type, adjust its settings in the slicer and save them, giving you the flexibility to use your favourite resin. All the usual functions are there. You can change scale, orientate, move your model, etc. Add your supports and send it wirelessly to your P1 through the magic of the ether. Or if you want to go back to the old-fashioned way of doing things, you can pop them on a USB stick and feed them to the printer that way. It is refreshing to see that this slicer has a built-in RERF test. That's a resin exposure rangefinder test. You can choose between 4 and 8 models and change your exposure time to anything you want for those 4 to 8 models. This then allows you to dial in your favourite resins and ensure that your exposure times are giving you the best result. It's quick, it's easy, and above all, it's built into the slicer. Now, it's always very refreshing when a 3D printer comes with a camera, and the P1 does not disappoint. There is a camera with 2 LED lights and a privacy cover, but if you are expecting a high resolution camera, I'm afraid you're going to be a little disappointed. This is a 480p camera. Now, it does show you your print in action if you're using the Anycubic app or the slicer itself, and it will show you if there's any problems or any issues to look out for, so it's good to have, but the quality is a little bit lacking, I have to say. But the fact that it is there, either on your computer or your mobile phone, we have to say is a Billy bonus. Now, we can't review a 3D printer without seeing it 3D printing. Here you can see I'm pouring in some Anycubic Basic Grey straight into the vat. There is no automatic resin feed system. That is not a problem in my view, because they're more trouble than they are worth. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. And here, my first print is Jill Valentine from Wikipatreon, printed in Anycubic resin, sliced on an Anycubic slicer and printed on the P1 perfectly. It looks amazing. So all I've done here, after she's been thoroughly cleaned of course, is I've taken the supports off. No hairdryer, no hot water, just pulled the supports off and glued it together so you can have a look at her. Now, I haven't cleaned her up at all, but I think you'll agree the quality of that is pretty darn good. Needs a little clean up in places, yes I know, but looks good. But what I wanted to show you here is how easy the supports have come off. Now, I've been using resin 3D printers for quite some time, and I've been using a lot of the Hagears resin 3D printers, and they have been my favourite supports to get off. But I've got to say, And I'm not just saying this because Anycubic have sent me the P1. I'm not just saying it because I'm reviewing it. These were the most enjoyable supports that I have got off a miniature for a long time. You could see in the slicer that the support settings themselves looked quite light. I was a bit dubious whether they'd actually print or not, but my God, they have printed, and they're just falling away. Literally, a little tug, a little twist, and these supports are coming off. And it's an absolute pleasure to do it. And I'm just a little bit taken back for words on how easy everything has happened. The quality of the prints also have been wonderful. Now, you can't see layer lines, you can't see any bloating, I can't see any little marks or divots. All I can see is the detail of the model, and these are Loot Studio 75mm models, and they're highly detailed, and all those details have come across in the print, as you can see. Yes, there's a couple of little supports to just literally pop off with an X-Acto knife, but I'm so impressed with how these look. So impressed. And I didn't really believe that I would be saying this, but they're probably up there with the nicest prints I have ever seen off a resin 3D printer. Let me know what you think in the comments, of course, but that is what I am genuinely putting myself out there and saying. I am impressed. It has shocked me, it has surprised me. I like it a lot. Let me know what you think though. Just look at the detail in his beard, in his arm. Lovely, aren't they? Really have come out well. I'm impressed with the Anycubic P1 so far. The next resin I'm trying is some high clear resin from Anycubic. Again, just poured straight into a nice clean vat. And this time I'm going to be printing the CA3D alien sculpture, which I got from their Patreon. It's a highly detailed sculpture, and there's quite a lot on the build plate. And coming back to it a few hours later just to see how it's getting on, and I think the picture speaks for itself. The quality of the high clear at this stage looks absolutely wonderful. There's no yellowing, there's no staining, it looks crystal clear. And just looking through the detail of the print, everything seems to have printed wonderfully. I cannot wait to get this one out of the build vat, clean it up, get those supports off, and have a good old look at this one. Now, once again, I am happy to report that the supports have literally been a pleasure to remove. I haven't needed to resort to hot water or a hairdryer again. They've literally just pulled off with a little twist and a little pull and left behind some divots. Of course they have, but very few and very limited. So if you look at the amount of supports that are on there, you can see that there's actually less supports on there than you would expect there to be. And again, I had my doubts of whether this would print to the level it has, but my God, this clear resin has thrown out an amazing result, again printed on their very own slicer using their very own high clear resin on the P1, has produced this wonderful CA3D alien. The detail is incredible, even down to the nails on the hand. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I absolutely recommend this resin. This printer so far has not let me down. Overall, I'm genuinely happy with the Anycubic Photon P1, especially after seeing what it can do day to day. It has consistently produced sharp, detailed prints with smooth surfaces that really show off its capabilities. Even the most intricate details have come out looking clean and precise, and with those easy to remove supports, the machine's reliability from one job to the next just gives me confidence in using it. The Anycubic Workshop slicer, well, that was easy to use too and easy to navigate, and made the slicing elements of the review pretty painless, I have to say. I'll admit I was sceptical when I first saw that dual print plate in images pre-release. It felt more of a gimmick than something a typical hobby level user would rely on every day. But remember, this is very much an optional extra rather than a core feature. Useful in specific situations to specific individuals maybe, but not something that most hobbyists will need to reach for regularly. The real strength of the Photon P1 lies in its straightforward, dependable performance, not the novelty of extra hardware. To balance, let's look at areas that, like the gimmicky double build plate, are not quite as polished. The P1 has a camera, which is of course refreshing to see, and I applaud that it's there. It's just a shame Anycubic didn't up the resolution slightly, as 480p just doesn't cut it these days. The image is poor and grainy, and I can't see there would be much of a massive hike in price to have installed a better, higher resolution option. It's there, it's a shame it's just not a decent one. The build drip plate grooves are pretty much useless as the lid just won't close when they're being used. So I'm looking for a third-party 3D print maybe that will allow me to angle the build plate and still close the lid, which I think is really important. Aside from these pretty minor gripes, and they are minor gripes, the P1 has delivered when asked. While the specs themselves are simple, a generous build volume, a moderately high resolution screen and a design focused on speed and consistency, it's the day-to-day experience that leaves the strongest impression on me. It's easy to set up, intuitive to run, and it just quietly delivers excellent results. After spending some time with the printer and seeing the quality firsthand, the Anycubic Photon P1 has proved to be dependable, high performing, a printer that continues to deliver for me the kind of quality that keeps me excited to print more and more. And in my next video in a month or so, I'll continue to print through its paces and update how it's holding up, because I can't say what the longevity of this printer will be. So in my next video, I'll give it a few hundred printing hours and see how it's coping. Now, if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, please hit the like and share button, subscribe to the channel, think about joining the Greedy 3D Patreon, and I want to say thank you to my patrons. You guys are amazing. Now, thank you again to Anycubic. They have sent me this printer, but rest assured, my comments and my thoughts are my own, and I genuinely, absolutely genuinely have enjoyed using this printer. I was skeptical at first, I had my doubts, but I really, really like it, and I'm not just saying that. Please check out other reviews, of course, but just look at the detail of the prints that it has printed for me, and you can see that the quality that it's throwing out is something that I am really enjoying looking at and using. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, and we'll come back to the P1 in a month or so and see how it's getting on.